46. The first takeaway of the game goes for Orange. The Panthers get the takeaway.
Picked up by the Panthers.
Looking to Sue. Got it. Was number 5 in there for the Panthers. Keshawn Thompson recovered the fumble.
And that's a huge play right there. You're talking about changing momentum. You just mentioned in the kicking game, usually Southern doesn't have the advantage, but they had the advantage right there. And all of a sudden, defense comes up with a huge play. You get a strip. You recover the ball in their own territory. And now they got some momentum on their side. So it'll be interesting to see. And one of the things Orange wants to do is wear Southern's defense down. So the more they can keep Southern on the field, the more they can keep pounding on them, the better this ground game is going to go.
Keshawn Thompson comes up with the fumble recovery, and Orange has the ball at the Southern 46. Double wing, Schmidt, handoff. Beasley bounces to the left with room. 45 to the 40. And Montavis Beasley comes over. Marvante Beasley comes over to the 35-yard line. The Panthers have a first down after the huge takeaway.
And, Jeff, the one thing with this double wing is if you have an athletic defense, it's okay, but your defense has got to be very smart and they got to be very disciplined. Your two outside guys have got to set the edge. And right there, they kind of fake the ball up the middle. The defensive end bites in the inside, and they kind of wash that side down, which ends up in a big game.
Beasley will be the back in motion. Puckett back as the fullback. Orange with the ball at the Southern 35. And the handoff, Puckett runs up the middle, past the 30, and into the secondary. Down he goes at the 25. Ran into Ryan Bond, the free safety, but he's close to another first down. Nothing flashy from Orange, but it is effective.
And that was nice, hard run play up the middle. And once you start running kind of east and west, which you don't ever want your running backs to do, but you start stretching the defense out. They know they can't kind of stack that middle and take that stuff away. So that run last time when they get 11 yards sets up that run there because the linebackers all of a sudden started widening out a little bit, and they don't trust the guys on the outside. To play a good defense, you all got to trust that everybody's going to do their own job.
That was 10 yards for Puckett, and it's another first down. Puckett now as the fullback. It looks like they have Beasley in there as the tailback, and Orange showing a new look here. They've got a tight end in the game. That's a rare sighting as Loch Ness. And bouncing to the outside to the 20-yard line is the ball carrier, and he's wrestled out of bounds. Orange actually with a tight end. And the gain there, good for 5.
One thing you want to do sometimes early in the game, I know when I was coaching, is you want to give them a couple different formations to see how they're going to adjust to it. And sometimes just by doing something as simply as adding a tight end or flexing somebody out, you create a running lane without even having to block anybody. So I'm sure Coach Moser and his staff have kind of looked at certain things in the film, and let's see how they're going to adjust against that and see if they open some things that we can attack during this game.
And tight end remains in there for Orange. That is Noah Rogers being used as the tight end on the left. This is the first time we've seen this all year from the Panthers. Tight end to the left, out of the I formation. Beasley with running room outside to the 20, to the 15, over the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Orange! Marvante Beasley runs it in from 20 yards out, and Orange scores off the fumble by Strong and the fumble recovery by Keshawn Thompson. The Panthers have the early lead.
And, Jeff, we kind of talked about adding that tight end, and what that does, Southern runs a 4-3 defense, which basically you have 4 defensive linemen. When you have only 5 guys there, your defensive end can kind of play it a little closer. Well, all of a sudden when you have that tight end, he has to flex out a little bit further, which creates a big running lane between that tackle tight end on that outside.
Here's Francisco McKinley, the extra point up, and he missed it. Wide left. Huge miss by McKinley. He's only missed 2 all year. He's now 21 of 24. We'll do a break. It is Orange leading 6-0 here as you're listening to HillsboroSports.com.
A friendly welcome awaits one of the great public golf courses in North Carolina. Okanichi Golf Course is proud to be the home course for the Orange Panthers and the Cedar Ridge Red Wolves men's and women's golf teams. They're open to the public with memberships starting as low as $200. Okanichi is a locally owned, third-generation family business with some of the best champion Bermuda greens in the area. Visit okanichi.com for more information. Or you can call 919-732-3435, schedule a lesson, purchase gift cards, or learn more about tee times. And come meet me at Okanichi.
Well, that was the ground game that Pat Moser has been wanting to see all along. Now McKinley drives the kickoff far sideline at the 25. Beaufort running across the field, crosses over the 30 to the 35, and he plows into Milton Purcell and goes down over the 40-yard line at the 43. After the turnover, it is a 4-play, 46-yard drive for Orange that took 1 minute and 52 seconds off the clock, and it ends with a 20-yard run by Mervante Beasley, and the Panthers have scored in the first quarter for the third straight week after going scoreless in the first quarter during the first 3 games of the season.
And Jeff, it'll be interesting to see how Southern responds here. They're down, at home to a team that they've traditionally struggled early with. They've usually played well in the fourth quarter, but can they get some movement going? Can they be consistent on offense? Can they gain some yards to keep that defense on the sideline?
Southern offense has struggled thus far, and we've got movement from Noah Rogers, who's pointing to the nose guard for Southern. But it looks like Rogers was the one who moved first. Nope, they're going to say it was Southern who moved first. And 5 yards against the Spartans will make it 1st and 15.
And right there, you got to be disciplined. I mean, it's a great call. Hey, we're going to go on to, let's try to pick up 5 yards to kind of make a short situation. And then all of a sudden now, we talked about earlier, the first play they have, they go to 2nd and 11. Now they're 1st and 15. So not the way that Southern wants to start this offensive possession when they're trying to answer or respond to what Orange has done.
Burris goes to the far side as a wideout. Low snap on the shotgun, and it's a zone read. Green, 40, 45 to the 50, and that's the zone read we were waiting for Southern. And boy, did Jalen Green take off with it. He wipes up 15 yards just like that, and he's into Orange territory.
And, Jeff, we were talking about responsibilities with the double wing. When you play the zone read, you got to have somebody account for that the quarterback. And if he doesn't, which there he bit inside, there's nobody out there, and it's a huge play.
And Green now hands it off to Strong, who lumbers up the gut past the 45 and down at about the 43. Waiting on him there, the middle linebacker, Jordy Farrington. Let's set that Orange defense for you. Stone Edwards, Noah Rogers, Ryan Sellers will be the defensive front. Mervante Beasley, Peyton Wilson, Jordan Farrington, and Devondre Moore, the linebackers. Out of the 3-4-3 front, 3-5-3 front, we'll also see Milton Purcell in as a linebacker. Alex Long, Kashawn Thompson, and Rodney Brooks will be in the secondary. Orange up 6-0. And after the pickup of 5, it'll be 2nd down and 5.
And you see kind of Orange looking to the sideline trying to wait for a call. Sometimes with those 2 guys on the outside, you have an outside linebacker and kind of like a hybrid defensive end. And sometimes those guys will mix up the responsibility for the quarterback, so the quarterback's not able to get a read every time on the play.
So it's 2nd and 6 officially. And Strong will take the head off now. Green pulls it back, lumbers to the right, past the 35, breaks out 30, to the 25, to the 20, 15, 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Southern.
And, Jeff, when you run that zone read, and you've seen it at the college level with Cam Newton, and you see it at the professional level with Newton and with Russell Wilson, when you have that quarterback who's a dynamic player, who can run, who can throw, who can do so many things, that just puts the extra stress on the defense, because the first series when Southern had the ball, they gave it to the running back every time. So it's it almost lulls Orange to sleep. We don't have to worry about Jalen pulling the ball and running. And you see the 2 times when he's pulled the ball, he's gained about 55 yards on his 2 running plays. So Orange has got to go back and say, we've got to stop that quarterback. Your job is to do that. Everybody else, your other 10 guys are worried about the running back.
And now Luis Laval with the extra point up, and it is good. And that's a big one. And Southern winning the kicking game, and now that's the reason why they're winning the game. It is Orange, thanks to 2 big runs by Jalen Green, now trailing Southern Durham. It is 7-6 on HillsboroSports.com.
The Deer Pushers Association of America is a group dedicated to raise funds in support of educational programs, wildlife habitat enhancement and acquisition, and the preservation of the shooting sports and hunting tradition for future generations. They serve Northern Orange, Southern Person, and all of Central North Carolina. To learn more about the Deer Pushers Association of America, contact Skinny Laws or Seth King directly. The Deer Pushers Association of America, killing tomorrow's trophies today.
Well, Southern did not have to wait to respond long. Quick response from the Spartans. 62 yards, and it took only 3 plays. They had a 1st and 15, but after that it was straight ahead forward, and Jalen Green uses 2 runs out of a zone read to take it down. 42 yards for the touchdown at 7-6. Now the kickoff will go over the head of Chris Eubanks and out of bounds. Orange will take it back. 1st and 10 from its own 20. Now keep in mind, Jalen Green has only rushed for 168 yards on 35 carries this year. And with those 2 runs, he's already got 58 in this game.
you go into each game trying to make adjustments and do different things. And we were kind of talking about a second ago. I know Coach Mosier all week long has told whoever the responsibility, usually it's your outside linebacker, defensive end, your job, if the play goes away from you, is quarterback. I don't care what else happens. Your job is the quarterback. And it sounds real easy when you're talking about it right now to do that, but it's so hard if they start running the ball and he starts making tackles. It's hard for him just to be disciplined enough to stop that quarterback.
Here's Puckett on the handoff, running to the right, spins out of a tackle, and lurks forward past the 20 down to the 23-yard line. So Puckett gains 3 as the Southern Band continues to play right across from where Orange is taking snaps right now. Second down and 7. Easton Sr. made the stop. Orange with Cody Danielson, along with Josh Smith-Breeden, Blake Taylor, Darrell Edwards, and Shea Hoffman. That is the offensive line, left to right. Second and 7 from the 23. From the I formation and 1 wing back. Pascal goes in motion now. And it's going to be a toss. Peyton Wilson to the outside. Past the 25, over the 30. Peyton still going, and he's down at the 33, and that'll be a first down. Peyton Wilson's first carry of the night.
And, Jeff, I was talking with the Cedar Ridge staff, and we're kind of watching some film this week. And so many defenses today are built to stop the spread. You know, you run a 3-4 or 4-3, which basically means you have more linebackers and more DBs. And you don't see too many offenses like Orange, which is a ground and pound game. So for them to make adjustments to try to say, okay, we've got to bring guys in the box. We might have to play a player that doesn't normally play to be able to stop this run game.
First and 10 now from the Orange 33, 10-yard pickup. Misdirection handoff. It's Pascal going around left end out to about the 36. Peyton Wilson has Orange's only 2 100-yard rushing games of the year. And the funny part about it is, in both games, it took him less than 5 carries to get those 100 yards.
And I kind of almost equate the offense to what Georgia Tech does.
Yeah.
You know, you see the military schools, and you see Georgia Tech run the triple option. Well, no schools see that. So you practice on it for 1 week. It's hard to get the reps. It's hard to simulate what they do in a game in practice. And I think Southern's trying to see that right now. Can they make the adjustments? Can they stop the ground game?
On second and 7, Wilson runs to the left, got room over the 40 and taken down shy of the first down, running behind the block of Josh Smith-Breeden and Cody Danielson. Plows forward, gets out to the 41, and it's going to be 3rd down and 2 coming up for Orange.
And, Jeff, you're already seeing one adjustment made by Southern. They came out in a cover 2 shell, which basically means you have 2 safeties about 10, 12 yards off the ball, and you have 2 corners. Well, now they've taken that 1 safety, and they've walked him down into the box to add the extra support for the run game.
Puckett will be the fullback. Handoff Wilson to the left, to the outside, dives ahead, and he's got the first down. Fighting past the 43-yard line, and Peyton got just enough. Nothing fancy from Orange here, and they've only thrown it just once here with 3.5 minutes remaining. Southern leading 7-6, a missed extra point, all that's separating the 2 teams.
And, Jeff, with each play, you see the DBs for Southern creeping up closer and closer and closer to the line of scrimmage. And what that's going to set up eventually is a play action, because they're going to be looking in the backfield. They're going to stick it in the belly of the running back. He's going to pull it, and if Southern bites, it could end up being a big play for the Orange Panthers.
And keep in mind, Kendall Whitted is a big play threat, so does Cody Evans. And off to the left on the counter, and stacked up in the backfield and dropped as the ball carrier. That was Pascal running out to the left, and all he could get was out to the 45. Good stock by Ezekiel Jeanette. And Turtle McClam comes over on the tackle as well, the cornerback, and looks like Mavante Beasley is still down. The man who ran for the touchdown for Orange is going off the field. He's injured.
And, Jeff, Southern's making an adjustment. They're putting 9 guys in the box. And basically what the box is basically from the tackle to tackle, maybe outside to the tight end. But what they're doing is just saying, hey, we know your philosophy is to run the ball. If you're going to beat us throwing the ball. That's one thing I always like to do as a defensive coordinator, is take away what that team does well. Yep. Make them, if they beat us with their weaknesses, then fine. You deserve to win. But I'm not going to let you beat us at what you're good at.
And that's where Orange has to come through in this game vertically at some point. 2nd down and 9. Speaking of throwing, here's Schmid back. He's going to launch it long for Cody Evans, who's open, and the ball is overthrown. Cody was free. He had beaten his man. That was the deep shot, and we've got a hold back at the line of scrimmage called against Orange.
But, Jeff, just what we were talking about a second ago, they keep creeping up. They didn't do a play action. There's just a straight drop back. But sometimes with that DB, he's looking in the backfield. He's not even paying attention to what the receiver's doing. And he got 4 or 5 steps on him. The ball was just a touch overthrown. Even if it would have been caught, it would have been brought back because of the holding penalty.
And the flag was thrown at the 42, so the ball will go back to the 32 after the hold.
And if you're Orange, you've got to do that. You've
Sure.
got to take some shots downfield, if nothing else, just to alleviate that pressure, to give your lineman a chance, because, there's 5 or 6 guys there. They